What about now? There we go. Gotcha. Can I get a sound check? Okay, I see. Sound check all the way around. Griffin.
Is that me?
All right. Discord. Tarpy or Jules?
Aye.
Check, check.
Okay,
Check.
there we
One,
go.
I'm not Jules or Tarpy, but I'm still going to do a check. There you go.
Got a
The carton
moopsie.
check.
Oopsie.
Okay, good there. Alerts, turning alerts off. Good Lord. What happened? I lost electricity. So funny. I lost electricity and it was out for 10 seconds and came back on. But when I turned my computer back on, it decided to install Windows updates. So so that took an extra 5 minutes. I need a UPS. Yeah, I know. Actually, there is a UPS on Throne. That is one of the items on the bingo card, to be perfectly honest with you, if you guys want to.
How convenient. So this was all just a commercial for the throne. That's great.
I'm pretty sure, Tarpy,
we need to go through our bingo.
don't I still have it on there? I'm pretty sure I do still have it on there, right? Isn't there a Throne or a UPS on the Throne
It's
list?
your throne.
I don't know what's on it. Hang on a second. I'll look. I don't remember what's on it. Let's
It's your
see.
stinking
Yeah,
throne.
yeah. There's a cyber power. There's a cyber power on there in the Throne list. It is one of those. It's 1500 volt VA. What is VA? 1500 VA volt amps, 1000 watts, which I can plug my desk in. It would only give me like 5 minutes, but it would be enough. So yes, it is on the Throne list, and that does happen to be a bingo thing. Listen, the UPS has been on the Throne list for like a year, and we haven't gotten it. So, like I said, there was a method to my bingo madness. There was a method to my bingo madness. It is one of the bingo squares for one of the Throne items, for one of the Throne squares. What wattage is my power supply in my PC? I have no freaking clue. How am I supposed to know that?
Not enough time. Play the clip.
Okay. Jules, here's your last 30 seconds, and then give me like 10 seconds so I can start recording the next file, and we'll pick up right there. Okay, here we go. Playback.
Okay. I want to point out the change that's actually going to happen in stage 4. So after you've completed all 3 stages, now the 3 stages are mirrored in the SMS and the IMS. Stage 4 is actually different. And this is where you can differ from your entire server. Say you're coming up on the last day and there's no chance you're even going to get to stage 3. Well, you got to run a bunch of Armadas to complete your stage 3 solo milestone. So what you may do is decide, you know what, my servers, they're not going to get there. Screw my server. I just need to look out to myself, and I need to get through stage 3 because stage 4 is mining.
And right there is where I lost it. So mining, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is mining transgen materials, where the IMS is actually acquiring transgen materials. So these are going to be completely different styles and approaches you're going to be taking. The mining of the transgen, I know that my particular milestone is 45 million points. So that would be roughly 5 million of the rare transgen, which is going to take me a little bit more than an hour, hour and a half. That's quite a bit of time. So if I'm waiting till the last possible second just to hope that my server is going to get there, maybe that's not the best call for me. What I will say, and this is the biggest hint for everybody who's listening to this podcast now, if you're upgrading, you have purchased a pack, you've purchased the research dust, so that you can actually get those bundles that you'll get from the building. I would hold on to those because that can be a huge boon to your server. Remember, all of the refining that people are doing now don't count till the IMS until you've actually finished stage 3 of the IMS. Theoretically, that could be on the very last day. And you have a high bar to complete that IMS in stage 4 to actually acquire all of those refined transgen materials. The best and the easiest and the most efficient way for your server to complete that is those Forge bundle rewards, the ones that you get every 10 levels. So hopefully you haven't claimed all of them. You can still claim those at the time that your server unlocks stage 4, and that can give you your server a huge boost into getting to that last milestones. So if everyone's listening here, hold on to those transgen bundles. Hold on to other things. There is some events and some, I'm sorry, not events, missions that will actually reward you for those transgen materials. Maybe don't claim that last thing. You can finish the mission without actually claiming it and claiming those rewards. So just a couple of little hints there for the servers.
The looking at these events and looking at the chat, I can see, Jules, where a lot of people are feeling really kind of overwhelmed or confused. This is definitely a new style of event series, and you've got multiple different events going on. Not only that, we've got the SMS and the IMS that we just talked about. We've got weird timing on how some things will count for other things and not count for other things. But then you also, on top of this, have a meta. Tell me a little bit about the meta as well.
I need to actually look at the meta because I haven't looked at the meta. You know, I think one of the issues with the meta is that it's basically going to say, hey, you've completed stage 3 of the IMS, and that's going to be really difficult for most servers. And Riskbreaker points it out well, because the directive sourcing for that is so difficult to get. I mean, even Tarpy's pointed out there's a 10% chance you get no directives. And how many starts can you get? How many points are you going to be able to earn from those starts? It's going to be very limited. In fact, I believe that most free-to-play players will not get through their stage 3 of their SMS in the 4 days that this is run, unless they've been able to triple pull every single time their dropship bundles, which are hefty. They're hefty requirements. They require a pretty heavy grind. So I don't think that that's going to be achievable for most players. But the overachieving instance milestones, the overachieving servers, they'll be able to complete that meta. And here's the thing: once you've completed that IMS, there is going to be another IMS that's going to open up, and that's going to give you even more for acquiring refined transigen. So there's even an additional bundle once you've completed that. It's going to give you a bigger boost. And as you've pointed out earlier when you were starting to leak things before this article launched, that this is a huge series. This isn't just this 4-day event that's happening. Your success and your server success in these events is actually going to change what events you're going to see the next time this runs. So it is quite important for you to do your maximum now. Don't save your directives for a future event if you think that you can actually get pretty far in this event, because it's going to affect what's going to happen later down the road. We've heard on the Scopely's video that they are going to have greater rewards if you're able to achieve greater success early on. I don't know what those greater rewards are going to be. It could be just more of this event store currency. It could be access to different events and maybe easier events. Who knows?
We do know that Jules is exactly right. Your events over the next 16 days will be dependent on your completion of these IMS events. How much do you get done is going to be path A. How much, if you get more, if you get stage 2, you get stage 3, you get stage 4, that's path 2, 3, and 4. We do know that your server is going to be divergent from other servers based on your completion. So there could be greater rewards for completing it faster with dollar signs in there. Alpaca, yeah, for sure. I think Jules is exactly right. The amount, the number of servers that are going to complete stage 3 is going to be significantly, that's the challenging one, right? That's going to be the big one. Let me say a very quick thank you. For those of you in podcasts, you probably didn't skip a beat. But for those of you in the live studio audience, you know, we just suffered about a 15-minute interruption in the show due to a power outage. And while we were booting everything back up, we had made reference to the July Bengals game that we are playing, and how there was items on Throne List that would help me with the electrical problems here in the studio. Let me just say very quickly, we'll talk a little bit more about Bengals later in the show as we get ready right before we end. But thank you very much to the anonymous gifter who just fully funded the CyberPower UPS backup, Griffin, to help to help prevent these types of interruptions and issues in the future. That is absolutely incredible. Thank you so very
That's
much.
assuming that you plug it in properly. But yes, thank you.
Am I gonna need special electrical out here? Because as it happens, my garage just recently burned down, and I'm gonna get a new electrical put in the next 2 weeks. So maybe I can actually get like a special line. Oh no, it just plugs into the wall. I can just plug this one straight
just
into the wall
110.
and don't drop it into
You've
a
got to
pool.
plug
Okay. Okay, got
you
it.
got to plug the computer. You got to plug the router. You got to plug the modem. All into the correct plugs, so they are in the battery backup plugs, not just the regular power plugs.
Fortunately, everything is plugged into my Secret Labs desk. So I just have to plug my one Secret Labs plug-in into the battery backup, and everything's going to be great. So that's going to be super exciting. Thank you very much to the anonymous gifter who literally fully funded that UPS. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. Wait, get a building UPS? Shiz, what? Do you think that this is YouTube platinum over here, and we're just getting $300 million for every single video we do, bro?
Well, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Maybe I. You know what I should do? I should sling a Tesla off a cliff. That seems to be what all the big YouTubers are doing these days. Is just taking vehicles and just destroying them. Seriously, everything that shows up in my YouTube feed anymore is people destroying cars. Maybe I should just do that. Hey, what's up, number one TTV? How are you? Thank you. I haven't gotten a plaque yet. No, I don't have a plaque. I'm not even YouTube like cardboard. Darkfire says already did that with the work truck. Okay.
Yeah, you have experience with that. You have a hill right behind your house, and you work at a place that sells new cars. I think this is the match made in heaven.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to love me taking their cars and just destroying them. Anyway, anywho, thank you very much to the contributor.
Oh, just don't tell Mrs. Boss, like the time that you had that borrow
anyway,
lender and
no, you know what?
pull route.
Anywho, thank you very much for those contributors who took care of that item on our throne list. And getting back into nothing like the mega bleep. I know. Getting back into our podcast content. So the Flashpoint events definitely adding a layer of complexity and dangling a little bit of urgency a little bit there, Jules, in letting players determine how far they're going to push, how far the server is going to push, and how much you're going to accomplish in this 4 days. But guys, Jules is right. This 4 days does not constitute the arc. It's the starter 4 days. You remember when Alliance Tournament started and everybody was in like that first sorter hat? We had the qualifying round. That's where we are right now. All right. Now, admittedly, the remaining 16 days are going to have outcomes as a result of your results right here. Okay. As a result of your outcome here. And we are going to see this similar style of structure over the next 5.5 months, 6 months. All right. That is Flashpoint. All right. So that is.
And I think I will jump back in and I'll say, we don't know yet what that increase in the event's going to be, but I can imagine that even stage 1 will pay more. So if you're able to rally with your server and get these stages done this time around, even if you don't get that same amount of effort this next week when this runs again, you may still get a higher payout for completing the things that you were going to complete if you didn't rally your server. So I'm just pointing it out that there still could be value in going hard now in order to get better payout for even doing less effort next time. Do you want to transfer into what the event store is actually paying? Like, what's the whole reason we're doing this whole Flashpoint series?
I think that would be fantastic in this particular chapter, and I don't even know how you're going to do that, Griffin, but in this particular segment of the podcast, yeah, these events, the Flashpoint events, the solo milestone events, the IMS, what is it all for? Just like we were talking about with the Transigen loop and what the payout of that loop is, what is the payout of this event store?
The greatest single thing in this event store is the fleet preset.
What is
Huge.
a fleet preset?
Free to play, preset slot. There is another fleet preset slot that will be available at Syndicate level 59. And we have not talked about Syndicate expansion yet, but 59 is a long ways away for the free-to-play players, even those who are up already at pretty high levels. So this is going to be huge. It does require 450,000 of this event store currency. This will not be earned this week. You will not be unlocking it this week from this event. But I think Tarpy, you did the math. How many events or how many of these event series will we have to complete before we can get the fleet preset?
Depends on how well you do and how well your server does.
So you
So
imagine we're finishing all the milestones, but we're not competing in the leaderboards. What do you think?
3 months. Well, three times through the full events. So if you
So
do
that's
the
this
full
month, 'cause there's-
IMS, yeah. So there are 3 of these.
Yes, in the event calendar, these are running every week for the next 3 weeks. So by the end of this arc, you could have a free fleet preset unlock.
Could
So I
being
do want to
the,
be.
the operative word.
I do want to be a little bit careful there because if you assume complete 4 out of 4 completion for all 4 stages of the IMS plus all 4 stages of the SMS, so that includes all of the invading entities, you also have to have 1 top 25 finish on either the grinding the hustles solo leaderboard or the invading entity solo leaderboard. And the challenge there, and this might just be a G6 thing that I see, I don't know what G5 or G4 sees or G3. Those leaderboards only go to 25 places, at least in G6.
I think that it's probably also a very safe assumption that there's going to be a very few number of players that are going to finish every event that's available to them. So I think I agree with Tarpy's assessment here. I think it would be irresponsible for us to say, hey, this is something you're going to do free to play, in a month.
Yeah.
But
So,
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, the thing you have up on your screen, I would actually say use the link that I just put in the Twitch chat as a better version of what I posted there. So this is the same idea that I did for the Macalla Crucible, where you can plan out how much event store currency that you will get for each of these things. So DJs, you do have edit access. No one else should at this exact moment in time. Yeah, that is you doing all those edits. So you can see at the top how your event store currency will change based on how much work you do. And I do want to point out that to be able to do the particular one I just clicked, you have to have completed the 11 boxes before it, because that is stage 3 of the IMS. So you can't get to stage 4 down here without doing stage 3. But as individuals, you can use this to plan out how much currency of this Flashpoint event store currency that you will get. So if you do 1 top 25 place, you will get 156,000.
And is that the price tag of the fleet fleet preset?
No. So the price tag of the fleet preset is 450,000.
Okay.
So you would need to do this same level of effort, both individually and as a server,
3 times.
Within 3 times, and that includes, and I keep wanting to repeat this because it is important, finishing the 3rd stage of that SMS. So if you are going to do this twice, or hopefully 3 times, you really might want to do 1 or 2 invading entities tomorrow, see how it goes. Everybody did get a couple free starts with the beginning of the arc. See how it goes. If it's not going to go super great for you, maybe stock up some starts and make sure you can really capitalize later. because Shiz has been pointing out that also in the event store, there are building bits for the Transigen Forge. So if you can't right away get that entire fleet preset, maybe your time will be better spent getting the parts for the Transigen Forge.
Which will help stage 4 become easy, but still not necessarily change our impact on stage 3. Stage 3 seems to be the tripping point here. Stage 3 seems to be the one that's gonna catch most players. But I do want to point something out. And as shilly as this may sound, Tarpy and Jules, I do want to point out the fact that there is multiple planned runs of this. There is a clear path. This is almost like what we saw when we saw the fleet commander slot in the event store, and they basically came out and said, hey, listen, if you do all the events, you're going to earn enough loot to do this, and so forth and so on. Here what we see is a brand new feature, a fleet preset. All right, we're going to talk about what a fleet preset here is in just a second, Jules, for those who don't understand the gravitas of what that is. But because I can tell you right now, I know what I'm going to use mine for. When I get it, I know exactly what I'm going to use mine for. But we'll talk about that in just a second. The fact is, it is available free to play, and there's a path. Now, whether that path is going to take you a month or 2 months or 3 months remains to be seen based on your engagement, and based on your server's engagement as well. But there is a path here. We know that this is a 6-month arc. All right. They've told us that. We should. I mean, even with moderate participation, by the time the 6 months is up, you should actually be able to pull this off. All right. I do not expect that Scopely expected players to easily come in and finish this IMS and Solo Milestone series in the first 4 days. It's going to run multiple times. All right. Yeah. Snake Eye says, say that 5 times fast. Free to play has a path to a free fleet free set. Free to play has a path to a free fleet free set. Okay. What if you don't want the free to play path to the free fleet free set? Well, Ben, I don't know that they're. I mean, obviously, there's some other things. We'll talk about that in just 1 second.
Well, this is the danger of this whole entire conversation is nobody has bothered to say exactly what the fleet preset is yet. So, and there's been no content created about it. So maybe we should talk about what the free fleet preset is, where to find it, and why it's so coveted.
Jules, what is a fleet preset?
Well, if you go into your ship management, so click on a ship, you will see on the top left corner where you see swap ships and refits, there is fleet preset button there. You can also access it when you're assigning officers and you go into your officer preset section. There's also that button there. So there's 2 ways of accessing this. It sees that you have the splash screen since you have not looked at it yet in game. What it allows you to do is basically save all of your docks as they are set up right now in game as a preset, similar to how you would set all of your officers. But it's not just all the officers above the deck on the bridge and then below the deck, but also all of the ships that those officers are on and the docks that they're on as well. So this is a huge thing for, say, arenas when you have all of your docks, PvP focused and you have all the specific ships, or say you're punching up on armadas and you have to have all your support ships out, or say you're doing something else like territory capture and you have a specific preset for that. So this is huge.
Or you're getting raided by Jonathan Ingram and you want to throw up a base defense crew really fast.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Perfect. Base
that's
defense
what I'm going to use on mine is base defense, because that's what I can't remember, folks. I can't remember. I honestly got, and I've said this before, and people's like, why don't you set up for defense? Because it's a pain in the butt. 8 ships
DJ,
and 8 crews and 8 different sets of things. And
DJ, you set up for defense before you forget to set your shield and it drops. Not after.
Potato, okay? The fact is, I've got a preset now that lets me put up my defense with a click of a button. All right.
Okay.
But just
well,
keep
you're
right.
happy
Let's
with
say
that.
you're in incursions. Let's say you're in incursions and you're switching from using the exocomps and incursions to get a bunch of loot to being like, oh, my buddies are out there. They're defending a base. We need somebody else out there. And you say, great, I'm going to set up my ocean defense with my couple of my attack ships to go snipe those, amalgams. Boom, I've got this incursion setup saved as a preset. So these can be very useful, particularly when it comes to those moments where you don't have a lot of time to sit there and set up all your docks and you're like, well, I mean, I will say personally, 85% of the reason I don't do arenas is because the time it takes me to set up all my docks.
Yeah.
I have like an hour or two in my Monday schedule. I can't even participate because I haven't built my slots yet,
Take a look at some of the ideas that are coming in chat, and I don't mean to spend a bunch of time on this, but we're talking about bold defense, ocean defense, talking about solo wave defense, right, Shiz? Setting up for elite solo wave defense, support ships, all that stuff, base defense. A lot of people are talking about that. Arenas, territory, incursions. All right, this is fantastic. Now, Lost In asked a really good question. I don't know if I have the exact answer to this. Will we end up getting more slots? Like, for example, if we get this one in the event store, is it slot number 1 or slot number 2? Will we be able to get the second one at Syndicate 59? The reason that I am going to hypothesize yes is in our very first interstitial, which, by the way, obviously does come from a development server, but we do see this development server image showing 2 available slots out of 10 possible fleet presets. Obviously, that's a very, very long-term goal there, Jules, but suffice to say, I do believe that just like officer presets, we are going to see multiple unlocks of fleet preset slots over the long haul. I don't know if
I can confirm in other sources that was confirmed.
Okay, there you go.
If you click through your interstitial, you'll actually see in game currently there is 5 available slots. 3 of them are available in game right now. 1 is through the pay store, 1 is through Syndicate level 59, and 1 is through this Flashpoint event store. So we currently have sourcing on 3. I imagine the 2 other ones will come as subsequent store purchases or come from other sources. And as you saw in the interstitial, why stop at 5 slots? Every time the Syndicate has expanded, they've added more officer presets, and that is still true with this new Syndicate expansion. We can imagine fleet presets are going to continue to grow.
I want this.
I need like 5 right now.
Yeah, I can imagine 3 or 4 that I want right now. This is a very, very cool new feature. This is fleet preset. And by the way, I do not find this to be a feature that is utility based in any way, shape, or form. Okay. This is convenience. This is time saving. I kind of wish it wasn't for sale. I understand why they're selling it, but this is a very, very cool thing. And while they are selling it, okay, I can't be super fussy because there's immediately a free-to-play path towards acquiring it. And I think that that's a good thing. You've actually got 2 free-to-play paths towards acquiring. You got Syndicate, which, again, going to take a while, admittedly, but we can crawl there. And then you've also got this event store where you can start to dabble in this. So simply the fact that you can pay to accelerate that path and unlock more, that's fine, but there is a grinder's path towards unlocking fleet presets, which is why I kind of have to give it, even if it's slow, kind of have to give it a little bit of a thumbs up there just simply because it is available. All right. It is grindable and it is available to all. So that is a very, very cool new thing. And I'm looking forward to using that. Like I said, I know exactly what I'm going to do with mine. So that's right, Fisty. You've got multiple paths. You got Syndicate, you got Grind, you got Whale. All right, so that is something that you're taking a look at. While we are transitioning, while we're taking a look at fleet presets as a possible outcome in this store, Jules, is there anything else in this particular Flashpoint store that strikes you as amazing that players should be looking out for?
Well, if you're not going to target the fleet presets or you're going to put that off as a very long-term goal, The forge building materials will help you with a current SMS to upgrade that forge right now in the game. So this is a great place to spend some of the early materials, particularly because 30 forge materials is actually a level. You know, level 1s and 2s are 30 materials each. So this can be a big impact if you're a free-to-play player and you really want to upgrade that forge pretty quickly to kind of make this journey easier for you. Just a reminder, too, the faster you get that forge up, the better you're going to be doing at mining, which means the more you're going to be able to engage in these Flashpoint SMSs that require you to mine and the events that are going to be occurring all month long that require you to mine. So I think that's one of the things in the event store that will pay off if you buy in now. And then later down the road, we of course have new S&W Dechuk sourcing. He is also going to help with mining rate right now. He's got a pretty hefty mining bonus for that, including a Mariner below deck ability. Yeah.
Can you confirm that multiplier on that officer is multiplied after the multiplier of the mining laser of the ship?
No.
Well, yeah. Mining laser of a ship, yes. So it goes base node speed times mining laser, and right now the only thing that affects a mining laser is the whip affecting the Devore. So that's the only thing that actually affects the mining laser itself. Everything else will then be a separate bonus that affects both of those combined. That is why G6
and that includes the building.
Fast.
So, for example, if my building is a 9,800% bonus, he's going to add 1,000% to that, and that'll then be a 10,800% bonus.
Correct. So he's not going to be huge if you've heavily invested in your building. But for a lot of players who are going to source him either free to play in the first few months, he will still be a good bonus. But I did just test him before and after, and it's not a multiplicative thing as you might suggest with the building bonus. It's additive to the building bonus in that bracket.
I do also want to point out that this is Dechuk's captain's maneuver. And so you will get maximum mining benefit out of the unlock. Tiering is not necessary for this guy. Okay, so that is important to note there.
I think that's his sidecar. I don't think he has a captain's ability. I think that's a sidecar.
I'm a liar then. Sorry. So wait, he starts at 1,000 and goes up from there.
What an amateur!
All right, my bad.
It goes up to 7,500 at max rank.
All right, well, scratch that whole part then. My bad. My bad. All right.
Well, no, the point of that is important. That could double the building effectiveness. So that's a very important officer.
Yeah, but tier 5 of that officer is going to take ages. Not only that, but you are limited to 10 shards out of this event store. That's it. Out of the 130 to unlock, you only get 10 shards out of this particular run of this Flashpoint event store, which expires in 5 days. You also see Gwen DeMarco there and 4 of the brand new mastery artifacts. This, again, could be very, very important as you're looking at mastery on these artifacts. If you're wanting to try to get these things unlocked, you've got some extra shards there and a couple of extra exocomps in that store.
Well, those exocomps are only available to the servers that finish stage 4. You must finish stage 4 to be able to purchase one of these 2 exocomps, either max cargo or protected cargo.
Yeah, and that currency is coming. I see here the Flashpoint mining choice token, which you'll get by finishing milestone number 4 or SMS 4. So, yeah, lots of stuff in the store. I'm not going to detract from the value, but I definitely like the fact that the fleet free set is there, and that is something. But there's a lot of good items in here, including the officer, the new artifacts, and of course, looking for short-term gain here. I really don't know that the Transigen Forge Foundation, the building materials, I'm not sure that's not the first thing I'm looking at, to be perfectly honest with you. So that is really, really nice to take a look at there. Now, when we're looking at the event store, there's one other piece that I would like that does relate to the fleet preset like we were just talking about a second ago in this particular chapter, Jules, and that is the Syndicate expansion. I want to kind of merge these two together because they do offer a lot of the same things. Can you tell us a little bit about what is behind the brand new Syndicate expansion and the new 10 levels that they've added to the Syndicate tree?
Yes, I can. I am plugging in a quick by the numbers into the circle so you can pull this up. quick and dirty. So Syndicate by the numbers, there is a bunch of ship buffs that are coming in as we've normally seen, including whole health percentage boosts, shield health percentage boosts, ISO damage boosts, which are crazy, up to 120%, completing all of that. ISO defense, critical damage, weapon damage, PvP apex barrier, EPVE apex barrier, repair cost efficiency, and the officer stats scrapping. And the big thing is that this is now the Strange New Worlds to Pring sourcing. This is exactly the same as the other 3 Syndicate officers. You will be able to start getting a daily drip right at Syndicate level 55, and you're guaranteed to max to Pring by the time you reach Syndicate level 65. 4 new officer presets, 1 free-to-play fleet preset at Syndicate level 59, and another fleet commander slot, also free to play, at level 65. Now, early calculations, I've posted this into the Twitch chat as well. We have a Syndicate progression sheet that has been updated with the new Syndicate levels. I did some quick calculations based on the maximum you could be earning at Syndicate level 55 to show how many days it's going to take to get to Syndicate level 65 and max the new content. It's almost 2 years, with no event boosts. Now, event boosts have traditionally come from some particular solar leaderboards, some SMSs, that's pretty rare, and then also from the battle pass. This is the first battle pass in a very long time, at least in my memory, that does not include Syndicate XP as any of its rewards.
Yikes.
You're not getting any Syndicate XP.
Ooh, take that, Syndicate advancement players. Ouchies.
But what is Syndicate advancement going to look like? Because what we've already seen is that the Syndicate event that we're getting right now, once you've hit level 55, it's Prime purchases. Maybe that's just the Prime event, or maybe that is the new model of what they're going to build for Syndicate advancement, where it's going to require a purchase just to even participate at all. So we don't know what the Syndicate advancement is going to look like. We can imagine because of the massive bonus that you're going to get once you hit level 55, you're getting up to 210,000 Syndicate XP just from clicking that daily claim button. That's a 4 times increase from Syndicate level 54. So it's a huge jump. If that's truly the case, that Syndicate advancement, that's nothing. It used to be 7.5 million to reach milestone 4. Well, that's going to be no problem. Free to play for somebody who is at Syndicate level 55. So I doubt that's what's going to stay. I'm sure we're going to see an inflation in those milestones. We'll see what it looks like.
That is your quick and dirty on not only the Flashpoint event store, the fleet free set. Thanks a lot, Snake Eyes. I can't even get that out of my head now. The free-to-play fleet free set. and the Syndicate advancement, or the Syndicate expansion and what is coming. Now, this is obviously just level 55 to 65. And of course, taking a quick peek back, we do have a couple of those officer presets that are coming in, and the valuable fleet preset that is incorporated into the expansion as well. Thank you again to Jules in the Talking Trek Laboratory and his team for amassing the information here on your quick and dirty for the Flashpoint event store and Syndicate expansion. Coming up in the next chapter, maybe our final chapter here tonight, the officers of Flashpoint, at least Flashpoint Part 1, Flashpoint Chapter 1, Part 1. We're going to take a look at the 3 new officers this month and how to source them and what our early reactions are to these, since nobody has them yet. Taking a look at what should maybe be a priority, what you're going to be looking at. We obviously just touched on T'Chak here just a second ago. We're going to go into a little bit more depth there, and how to get them, not just their efficacy, but where do they come from? Because the event guide sees no officer auctions. Is that actually the truth? We're going to find out on the other side of this particular chapter in the next chapter. So thank you very much for that. We'll be right back with more on Teaching Trek's Flashpoint chapter series. Okay, so Jules, before we jump into this last one, I feel like this will probably be the last one. We talked about vengeance at the beginning of the show. I don't think that is there anything else, any other questions that anybody has before. Wait, some people have to pring already? Wait, how?
Yeah, I have to
Because you
pring.
bought and Syndicate XP.
Yeah,
Buying Syndicate XP.
she's
Yeah.
great.
Jesus
Yeah.
God. You guys are animals.
She's great, and she works on these invading entities, which is wonderful.
Ah, that's great. All right, well, we'll talk about that. All right. So, any other questions? And Jules, can this be our last chapter? Or is there anything that we haven't touched on that you want to? Oh God, we didn't do Crucible.
Nope.
Okay, we have to
did
talk
wanna
about
mention-
Crucible. I have to.
I was actually going to mention when you were talking about the officer that you said the unlock was 130 shards, but it's an SNW officer, and my unlock is now only 118 because I've done 2 levels of the efficiency.
Okay, cool. We'll talk about that in the officer section.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that you knew about that.
And Griffin, did you say that she's actually working? Because she says
Yeah, she showed
non-armada
up on my
hostiles,
battle
which
log.
would- Interesting.
What now?
All right, let's go back. Let's
So that-
pull up whale cam. Oh, I don't have your screen shares off where I lost power.
Oh
That's interesting.
no, I'm on. I'm whale camming.
There it goes. Okay. All right. Well, then let's do officers next, and then we'll swing back around and do crucibles. And Griffin, is your plan still to like release all this stuff kind of condensed and individually? So
Well, that's the whole point of us doing this.
okay. I was just checking. I'm just making sure. No, yeah, no.
You're gonna do it tonight, right?
Yeah,
Like-
you're gonna have everything up tomorrow. No, I just wanted to make sure. Also, in talking to the podcast, because we're also we're putting all this together for the podcast audience, and they're just getting a big old mashup. But I want to make sure to promote the fact that these will be coming out on YouTube as a series, and I really appreciate again all the work that the team has put in. I like this format, especially when we've got a lot of information to bang through. So, all right, let's do. We'll do officers, and then we'll do Crucible, which Jules writes could be a whole podcast in itself. But we want to at least get a preliminary set of information out there because then we can talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. So, all right. Heading back into the Talking Trek Laboratory, we got Jules Verne here with our next chapter and our final chapter when it comes to Flashpoint series and events. More information on some of the other events coming up shortly. But what is all this for, and what officers are on board from the Strange New Worlds crew that are giving us some assistance as we jump in and start our Flashpoint series? Jules Verne, we've got 3 new officers this month. Can you give us your first early reactions, descriptions, and analytics on these 3 officers? How are you feeling about these guys, and are they going to be worth chasing?
Yes, so Strange New Worlds Chuck is the first officer I'd like to point out. His officer ability is going to help you in your mining bonus for your common, uncommon, and rare transgen. And as we're looking at him, he also has, so this is going to be a really good bonus, particularly early on if your building's not at a high level. That 1000% is going to be additive to your Transgen Forge bonuses that you see there. So it's good to have them at 1000%. Looks really big now. It's going to be a useful officer to put on your miners, particularly because all of the other mining bonuses are basically nothing compared to the building. So great officer there. His below deck ability is an upgraded Mariner, increasing ship's weapon damage by up to 3,000%. Now, a reminder, Mariner kind of stops around 105%, if I believe correctly. This is against any target, players or hostiles or armadas or even invading entities. Again, a useful component against this particular loop, which has some requirements to it. The next officer I wanted to bring up is SNW T'Pring. So in the same grouping, Strange New Worlds T'Pring. Now, Strange New World T'Pring is only sourced via the Syndicate tree. There is no other sourcing currently for T'Pring. Just by getting to Syndicate level 55, you'll begin your drip, and as you upgrade, you'll get the shards dropped to you at subsequent levels. Her officer ability is essentially increasing mitigation by using the defense stats of your officers. Now, we've traditionally seen that by doing it that way, you're going to get a massive bonus. The Doctor being the best mitigation officer in the game until T'Pring was released. He maxed out at 2,000. T'Pring is maxing out at 2,500%. So this is going to give you an extra bonus. Currently, as written, against non-Armada hostiles. Griffin, have you experienced T'Pring working against your invading entities?
I did see her pop in the battle log that I ran against the invading entity of this current cycle. So that's something we can test to confirm. But
yeah. So there could be a mismatch between what's listed here and the actual triggers that we see. So this may be worthy of putting into your bridge slot there, because those invading entities have quite a bit of damage. Mitigation is going to be a huge component of that. So if you're able to unlock T'Pring, this is going to really help you in your invading entities loop. The below deck ability is essentially a pick Q ability for below decks. The first time we've seen this below decks, this is an immediate use on any of your miners going out there and mining traditional materials or crystal or gas. Moving on to the last officer, Strange New Worlds Scotty. Strange New Worlds Scotty. His officer ability is cascade damage, specifically against the Flashpoint hostiles and the Flashpoint invading entities. This is very specific for how to actually achieve or how this is actually going to be applied. We pretty much believe that it's going to be active essentially during the Flashpoint series of events against the Hurok dropships and the Hurok invading entities. But as we know, Flashpoint is going to continue to evolve over the next 6 months, and hopefully the Scott will continue to apply to all new hostiles and invading entities that occur within the Flashpoint series.
Do we know? Do the chasers, are they considered Flashpoint hostiles?
No, they are not.
No.
Wow. So yeah, he's only going to be available.
They remain as Suliban officers. Correct.
Wow. So this is an officer that only has use on the bridge, albeit a very good use. It looks like his statistics are amazing, but only during an active Flashpoint IMS, right?
And I will say it's Cascade officer. It's Cascade damage, which is very similar to Gwen DeMarco. Gwen DeMarco getting above 100% is actually a pretty high bar. So just unlocking Strange New Worlds Montgomery Scott is going to give you an equivalent to a DeMarco pretty early on, may be a part of your major crew when you're actually facing these invading entities. Great. His below deck abilities is essentially a Rutherford increase to shield health. Starts at 100%, maxes out at 700%. Now, for those of you who don't know, Rutherford is actually a net increase to your shield health. This isn't necessarily what was initially presented, but this is how it actually applied. So Rutherford at max gave you a couple 100% to your shield health bonus, whereas Montgomery Scott is going to give you 700% at his max rank. We think that this is going to apply very similar to Rutherford, where it's going to be a net increase to your shield health. That's huge when you're using officers like Janeway, who is diverting more damage to your shields. Another effect that works like this is Cerritos will also boost your net shield effect, and so these things are going to work together to really give you a ton of shields. This is not confirmed that it is working that way. I have not seen enough testing to confirm that. I'm just saying that that is how Rutherford worked, and it was pitched as the new Rutherford, the updated Rutherford. So those are your three officers. Montgomery Scott currently is going to be sourced through the Crucible events. He's got some shard drip through there. Plus, once you've completed all of the milestones or the entire meta of the Crucible event, there will be a pack available to purchase that will give you a max or an unlock amount of shards for a Montgomery Scott. So he will be sourceable in the next few days for purchase. Or if you continue to do these types of events, or we may see some
wait in
the future.
I don't mean to interrupt. We have to buy that at the end?
Yep.
I'm doing all this work and it's not even an award at the end, like a prize to get it. It just opens up.
No, you do get 10 shards.
Your prize is the 10 tokens, the 10 shards, and the
choice
tokens that you're going to
tokens.
get.
Yeah.
And the choice tokens would give you other officer shards and a bunch of resources and materials. This is still very valuable, not even including what is available at the end of this loop, which is, yes, you're correct, a pack purchase.
If you want that officer after 5 days or 7 days, I mean, there's going to be other sourcing methods for this officer down the road as well. So, but I mean, yeah, the primary payout of the Crucible events is certainly not Montgomery Scott. All right, it's your choice tokens. All right. One other thing that I want to point out regarding these 3 brand new Strange New Worlds officers is the fact that they are Strange New Worlds officers. Okay, meaning that they are affected by the away team's research Strange New Worlds crew allocation. We have already been able to confirm that is working exactly as we expected it to, and working on this particular research node from the away team's research revamp is going to reduce the number of shards, not only for unlock, but also tiering these officers straight out the gate. So your number of shards to unlock may not indeed actually be 130. Could be far fewer than that, depending on your progression through the away team's research. Thank you very much, Jules. As that wraps up our final set of chapters, well, no, not really. I guess we've got one more, and you tied into it perfectly. Coming up next in our final chapter, the Crucible events and why Karkin is now having a heart attack over there. What is the Crucible series? What is the payout of the Crucible series in detail, and is it worth your headache? Also, how much of it do you actually have to do? Does it require perfection? Because some of these tasks look kind of ridiculous. Tarpy has built a calculator for us to determine exactly how much you need to do and when, and a planning guide to help you maximize your loot there as well. That'll come up in our next chapter here on Talking Trek as we continue to break down and dive into Flashpoint and all things that you need to know and ignore from A to Z. Back with more right after this. All right. Thank you, guys. And as we jump into our final chapter here tonight, and what a very awesome audience you guys have been. Thank you for the podcast audience sticking through this whole thing. And, of course, the Quick and Dirty series here on YouTube. We appreciate that. Here's our final chapter on Flashpoint, at least here, Griffin, in week 1, because we know that there's going to be a lot more content coming over the course of the next 10 days, the next 16 days, and then, of course, coming into the August arc, we're going to start all over again. But a lot of what we're talking about here with these particular mechanics are going to carry forward over the next 6 months. Lost In, thank you very much for your insane contribution of 30 subs to the Twitch chat. Appreciate that very much. As we jump into our final chapter here tonight, let's talk a little bit about what we have formerly known as Boldly Go and is now being referred to as Crucible, the Crucible series. That is Macalla's Crucible. It works the exact same way, Jules, but this time there's a lot more packed into it. There are some seemingly impossible tasks, and there's a different calculus on the math as far as what we need to do to finish and get paid. Plus, we've got to take a look at what the actual payout is. We're also going to provide you a planning guide built by our very own Tarpitude, and that will all come in this 7-minute segment as well. Jules, what is Macalla's Crucible?
Actually, I want to put this all to Tarpy, because Tarpy did all of the work on this, and she did an amazing job. I should not even be talking.
All right. See, teamwork. Tarpy's like, yeah, no, listen, I'm not prepared for this at all. Tarpy, we had let's see. Let me just pause on this particular second, because you had sent me a screenshot, or not a screenshot, a Google sheet, right?
I can put it in the chat again. Yeah.
Thank you, please.
I got you. 2 seconds.
Fisty says the Trellium mining events are insane. We're going to talk about that here in a second. This might be crazy. I am not that worried about that one. And maybe this is something that I need to
Day one.
Thank you. Yeah, mining 40 million is only like 40 million D is, I think, 8 trips for me. 8 over the course of 7
That's
days.
4 hours. That's 4 hours.
I would. Why don't you go stick your protector in?
Don't you remember me
Nemesis right
losing
now?
my mind on
See how it goes.
Tuesday about the Trillium A and the Trillium D, the whole entire 5 hours?
I'm losing Twitch. Well, now we're back. This wasn't me because I kept internet the whole time. So weird, man. So weird. All this technology.
Twitch is twitching. We should just have Tarpa to do her thing before we
lose
fate.
power again. All right, Tarpy, where's your sheet?
I think Jules pinned it. There's the link again.
Oh, you pinned it in Twitch. Okay, hang on. Let me go over here and find it. I'll pull it down. All right. So let me just okay. All right, Tarpy. Well, the quarterback sneak has been handed off to you. Let's get into Crucible, our final chapter here. What is Crucible, and what's it paying, and how do we even flip and do it?
So a crucible, if you look up the dictionary.com definition, is basically something you put high temperature or pressure into. So this is not supposed to be easy, is basically what this boils down to. This is 5 days of events, or tasks, as I've been calling them, where you log in for the first time that day, and you see 3 different subsets of tasks. And for different days, there'll be different things. And there are 5 tasks in each one of those categories for 15 total tasks per day. And these tasks range from mining to just showing up to hitting different PvE targets throughout the galaxy. And what we have here on the Twitch screen, as I try and find Twitch again, the calculator that I came up with for you individually to be able to figure out how many of the tasks you need to put time into to get the total number of points that you want over the 5 days. So to get the end of the meta, there is a meta at the top of your screen, and these things contribute points towards that meta. And to finish that total meta, you need 1,950 points. Okay. That is in the pink box. It is the 3rd row down. And so that's 1,950. So what you can do to finish that meta, you will end up with memory tokens as well as 10 Scotty shards. So back on the spreadsheet, you can use the spreadsheet to calculate the number of things that you can finish. Now, some of these are much harder. So if we look, there are Krenim formations. That might be a challenge depending on your alliance. There are 25 Borg polygons, which also might be a challenge depending on your alliance. And there's mining things such as the amount of Trillium A or Trillium D, which all of these are segmented by your ops. So I did not put any quantities in here, with exception of a few. So there are for the, which day is it? Day 4, where it says Q's trials, you do need to do a total of 30 Q's trials. And there are 2 different grinds there that do require chaos tech. So I do want to mention that there is a difference between these 2 chaos techs. The first one requires 250 hostiles ground period with chaos tech on. The second one is 500 hostiles specifically with epic chaos tech. So there are ways to obtain epic chaos tech free to play. So hopefully you've done those over the last few months. But that grind might actually be a challenge depending on what your daily driver is for ships and chaos techs. Another challenge for you might be in day 5, the elite solo waves. So what you have to do is you have to balance what you can finish throughout the rest of this. And what you get for each of these tasks are these memory tokens. So DJs is probably showing the memory tokens. And so that's in game. you will get a certain amount of memory tokens. And then you can go into the event store. And in that event store, there are 3 different pulls for these Echoes of Macalla. Okay, so there are 3 different pulls. These are going to be scaled by your ops. So your ops will have generationally relevant mats and resources. And at the bottom of this, there will be a chance pull at officers as well as a chance pull at Latinum. So you can also, at the bottom of the sheet, I did not put all of the different ops levels worth of values, but you can put it in for yourself and then calculate the amount of mats that you can get from this. So keep scrolling down, DJs. There you go. So you can look at the approximate amount of mats that you might want to pull out of this event store based on the amount of effort that you want to put in. So it is variable based on your desire.
Oh my gosh, I need so much gas right now. It's not even funny. I need
Eat some
all
cheese,
the
dude.
I need all the gas. All right, that's what I'm chasing right now. Is the gas as I'm pushing towards Op 70. So very, very cool thing here. And Karkin, to your point earlier in a previous chapter, I don't believe that Scott is the actual the payout. I don't think it is. I mean, 10 shards, nice little bonus right there. But the actual payout here are the other officer shards and primarily the resources and materials. This is essentially Dabo wheel, right? These are Dabo pulls. And that is where your primary benefit is. But, I mean, upon completing the Crucible, if you do want to pay to fast track Scotty, then, of course, you'll be able to do that. But that is not the primary benefit of Macalla's Crucible.
I have a question.
Yep.
1950 points gets you to complete the meta. What is the total amount of points available if you're perfect? Basically, what is our difference?
So actually scroll slightly down, DJs, to day 5, where it says on the far left, day 5. So Putz, it says total possible SMS at the bottom. It is 2,600. So if all of those boxes were checked, that 2,600 would be what you get. And the total possible memory tokens is 28,600.
So to complete the meta, you have 650 points that you can play with on not doing. Okay, cool. That's
and when you look at 650 points, not to be confused with memory tokens, but points. For example, if you drop 25 polygons, that's only 80 points. You can actually skip a fair number of events here if you're trying to find your way to 1950. I would also remind you that much like a lot of events that we are seeing here lately, all right, we are looking at payout all the way along. Listen, if you don't hit 1950, fine. What are you actually missing? You're missing 8,000 memory tokens and 10 Scotty shards. But what are you earning all along the way? Memory tokens, every single milestone. 1950 is what's required to get the meta. All right. But do what you can either way. Not completing the meta does not eliminate your payout. Not only that, but completing the meta and continuing on with the overflow, so to speak, will give you additional memory tokens. So 1950 being set as kind of, that's just a milestone, if you will, that has 10 epic shards. All right. I would not even label this as a meta, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay. I think that is not a fair assessment of what Boldly Go ever was or is even now. This is paying pretty uniformly all the way through. Every single task is giving you memory tokens, and every so many points, you're getting memory tokens through your milestones. You just happen to have a milestone at 1950 that pays 10 epic shards. But even when you surpass the 1950, you are still earning even more memory tokens from the individual tasks themselves. So do be aware of that. This whole meta in this particular series of events the meta is the least important piece of it, Karkin. And I know you were kind of freaking out about the Scotty shards. That is the least important piece of this. The primary focus remains the memory tokens, and it doesn't matter how few or as many that you do, you are being compensated in your memory tokens for every task that is done, all the way down from, your first 1,000 points all the way up, or your first 1,000 memory tokens all the way up to 20,000 memory tokens. This is literally exactly that, almost like a Kobayashi Maru. You just get out of it whatever you put into it. And along the way, there is an opportunity for 10 epic shards, but that is certainly not anything that anybody should be losing any sleep over. All right. This planning guide is absolutely superb, Tarpy. Very, very well done.
Thank you. The last thing I do want to say about this is we've noticed that this month is the first month with a significant shift in how the events are being run. And I do want to say that this crucible is the replacement, it seems, for the events that would normally give mats and resources during a regular arc. So you can also kind of think about this grind as this is the things that go along with the arc in a normal month. So this is doing stuff that is progressing your account. This is not making a bunch of G6 players go grind things that we wouldn't use. Almost everything that this is making you choose between are things that you would use. And that's what I find useful about this, that I'm getting to choose where my mats come from based on what I want to grind.
Pointing
and
out
what mats I get out of it.
And to further elaborate on that point, if you were completely perfect, all right, if you were completely perfect, you're going to end up with what we expect to be 61,000 mirror tokens. All right, that would be complete and utter perfection, which, by the way, is probably not free to play. All right, but complete and total perfection gives you a max capacity of 60,000 memory tokens, 61,160 to be precise. Even that is only going to result in a total maximum number of pulls in the Dabo store of 69. So there are a limit of 50. There is a limit of 50 on each particular pull, but you would be able to spend 50 out of your max potential of 69 on any one resource. That's right. Giggity. You could spend 50. So you can be very, very concentrated in the resource and material that you want. Okay. But do be aware that there is a limit of 50 on any one. So even if you were perfect, you're still going to have 19 pulls that are going to come from a secondary resource and material. All right.
DJ, I have a question about the pools. Just like the choice tokens, are these is crystal and everything weighted? Do you get more crystal in those pools?
You can look. So if you look at the numbers, so I have 68 in there. You can see crystal is weighted higher. It's not double, but it is weighted higher.
It's almost doubled, though. Yeah, absolutely.
It is almost, but not quite.
Almost. So that is your quick and dirty on Macalla's Crucible. Definitely encourage players to get as much as they can out of here. But again, this is a very rewarding play as you go, or get rewarded as you go. Please do not lose sleep over the actual meta at the top. Do know that these milestones at the top do contain a bulk of your memory tokens, but perfect completion is absolutely not required here. You are earning lots and lots of memory tokens as you proceed through all of these tasks. So just get what you can and participate at the level that you feel comfortable with and take those rewards, but there should not be any stress over a measly 10 epic shards at this point. Take the memory tokens, focus on that, and get those resources and materials the way you want. Finding out how much you can get will be available in this tool, and the link will be down below. All right, that is your quick and dirty on Macalla's Crucible. Thank you again, Tarpy, Jules, and everybody in the lab for putting this thing together. You guys are epically amazing and awesome. Thank you guys for watching this particular chapter on Flashpoint. All right. And with that, Jules, Tarpey, let me come to you, Griffin, as well. And a real quick roundabout from the panel, because we are significantly over on time here. Where do we have any other questions or any other items that need to be addressed here tonight as players are approaching their first week into Flashpoint? Tarpey, you got anything in a wrap-up?
So the one thing I do want people to watch out for as you are doing your invading entities is watch the systems that have particular hostiles not spawn rare or epic as needed. So that might be a, hey, ask GC, somebody can do some epics in a particular system. So you can actually get some more rares to spawn, because that has been an issue so far.
Very good. Jules, final thoughts?
I think that's it.
Yes, but not until your server has reached stage 3.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, I think with the crucible events, like there is a few tips and tricks, but yeah, there's definitely gonna be some hardships. I think the Krenim invading entities, doing 25 of those can be really tough. You know, you only if you've been banking those up quite a bit. The elite solo waves, you can't bank up unless you redeemed all of the last wave battle pass rewards and then haven't done anything for a week.
Yeah. Which we've
so
actually
those
taught
aren't free to
against.
play.
Yeah, we've taught against that. So, yeah, for sure.
But aren't
I
those?
listened to you. Shame on me.
What? No, listen, I'm maximizing. Listen, at the end of the day, I am still happier with that payout than I am those couple of memory tokens in this particular case. It's not
This
required.
is the quintessential advice we give is on display here in full Monty. Do not have FOMO. You do not need to be perfect. Do as much as you can, and you're going to get where you're going to get on that top row. But even if you're not perfect, you can still achieve maximum completion on the top, and I think that's great.
I did have a question about the waves ones. Is that saying you have to do individual waves? Like, so if I run a five wave thing, I'll get credit for 5, or
That's
do I have
correct.
to run?
Yes.
Yeah, they are. They are based on wave completion. So doing one set of directives could get you 5 towards that milestone. That's good. Good
if
question.
you're G5 or G6. If you're G3, you can only get 3 done on that
that's
same
right.
directive. So yeah.
Game
Right, but
Junior says.
It doesn't look that daunting now.
No, yeah, for sure.
You need 8 starts minimum.
Game Junior says, I love the idea that I can burst play and take a couple days off, or at least could take off if the Flash stuff wasn't so grindy. I mean, honestly, Game Junior, I'm counting on that. I haven't been able to play the last couple days. Been very, very busy. I'm leaving on vacation here in like 3 hours. So I am looking forward to parking my butt in the sand, getting lobster crispy, and just playing Star Trek Fleet Command for a week. All right.
That's great. We didn't talk about it today, but the big win that they did here is you don't have to wait until day 4 to do the day 4 stuff. The counters are going from minute 1. So I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely.
I did want to really quickly talk about the invading entity. If you switch over to my camera, DJs, I've done a lot of testing. This is the crew that I'm using now that gives me the best results in terms of the mitigation I need to punch up on these epic invading entities as I hit the 65s or 6s or whatever they are. And even almost took out the top one. So that the doctor up on the bridge really made the biggest difference for me. Scotty is really coming into play quite a bit as well. And I also had the most luck getting the quantum slipstream drive back on, as we knew from previous invading entities. Also, this Chaos Tech is doing a big job with that mitigation as well. Yeah. So just a quick peek if you want some crewing ideas.
The Godsend may also work. Maybe.
Oh, really?
Well, the description in the Godsend says it shouldn't work, but the Godsend's also been working in literally every case. Just like Wrath of Khan Joaquim.
Does that show up in the event log? The battle log?
Theoretically, it should. If it's going to work, it's going to work. Yeah. So, Light Bulb's pointing out that they forgot the conditions on that one. so that it's been working in basically everything. And considering these have Apex Barrier, the Apex Shred that particular Chaos deck has could be a very valuable thing. I do see that the Chrono Deflector is pretty potent in its ability to ramp up some, not only some Apex Barrier for yourself, but also some critical damage. That's pretty big. So
Well, while
I don't
we're
know
here,
if
let's get answers on
the
both of
Godsend's
those.
better. Yeah, I do not know if the Godsend would actually be better because the Chrono Deflector actually does have more Apex Barrier than the Godsend. It's really the Apex Shred that's the difference. So I just don't know if that's going to balance it. But I just wanted to point that out because it doesn't seem like it should. But when we actually look at the code, it has been working against these.
What's the
Let's
Apex
see what
Shred
happens here in 10 seconds.
top number? What's the top number on that?
The top number is 35% Apex Shred. And they have a bonus. I think the rares are 1,000, the epics are 2,000. I can't remember if I have those flipped or not. Apex Barrier, so it could make a difference in how much actual damage is getting through to their hole.
They only have an Apex Barrier of 1,000. That's it.
Yes,
Okay, then the Shred's not going to do much.
but it could be
because
more
the
if you're
Apex-
not piercing a lot. Then what it's actually getting through probably gonna be very little. So
The Godsend
because
was
I
at the
know-
top.
Yeah, because 1,000 Apex Barrier is gonna protect what? Gonna like what? 1% or 5%?
No, it's 10%.
10%.
10%. Okay. And then you're gonna take 35% off of that. I mean,
It's 7% net increase. I mean, you know. So,
yeah, I guess
yeah,
7.
7% net. Not the shabbiest thing. So, anywho, what do
Did Twitch
we?
just drop again?
It looks like it. Well, it did for a second. I lost 120 frames, but I'm back.
I did not see the Godsend on the battle log.
It was in the battle log.
Oh, it was?
It was before any of the shots were fired.
Yeah, go back to your battle log, there, Brusky.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we can see. Wait, where did? Oh, there it is. Yeah, line 6. Godsend increasing base weapon damage 1,600%. So for those of you in the podcast, we're looking at a battle log with the Godsend against an invading entity, and the damage boost did in fact work. So, and that is what killed first.
The damage boost worked, but it doesn't look. It may not mean the Apex Shred worked, so that may not be as valuable as the Chrono Deflector, which is quite potent against these invading entities.
Yeah.
So I think the Chrono.
The
Oh, no,
interphasic
that- I
shield
did-
also works. Just so you know, the mirror, interphasic mirror, that adds isolatic damage and isolatic defense, so it could be helpful.
Absolutely. All right, guys, very, very good conversation and lots of details provided in Flashpoint in an otherwise very, very busy ARC launch. We've got a lot more that we're going to be able to play with and a lot more that we're going to be able to test with as time goes on. But we definitely want to get the information in the hands of the players here tonight, and a whole series on YouTube will be forthcoming over the next several days, maybe even a couple of weeks. We're going to try to get it up as best we can, as quickly as we can, but without going insane. Scopely dumping 6 months of content here in week 1, and we're not done yet. There's a lot more still to come. Thank you to everybody who contributed towards tonight's show and putting everything together, all the information and all of the data and everything that has been presented tonight by the Talking Trek Laboratory, and to all of you guys for hanging out, watching, and listening to the content. We're going to get ready to wrap everything up here tonight and put this thing together. As far as a schedule, we are going to be with you some over the next vacation week, just in the form of IRL, some simple gameplay. I did. Oh my gosh, I didn't tell you about this. I'm going to show you really quickly. I'm going to show you real quick since the credits are already rolling. Tarpy, I irresponsibly spent $150 on this suction cup that is going to attach to the inside of my windshield, along with this spring-loaded shock absorber, okay, that will hold my camera so that I can IRL while driving a car. Which, by the way,
oh my God,
is very borderline on TOS, but I see streamers doing it. So during my 9-hour drive on Saturday, you guys can bet that I'm going to be hanging out with you guys a little bit. And I spent $150 so the camera doesn't get real vibrating. Do you remember, I think this was probably 2 or 3 years ago when I recorded that cat video when I was in the car, and it was... it was vibrating. It was shaking so much. That's right, Kill First. It is the return of talking in cars with DJs. Wristbreaker says, don't read chat while I'm driving. I don't plan on it. I'm going to put Oliver in the front seat with me, and he's going to be responsible for reading your chat. I'm going to have him mic'd up and everything. Oliver DJs.
That's a bad idea.
Wait, why?
It's a terrible idea.
I think it's a great. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me be censored for a 9-year-old? That's horrible.
Oliver is going to be reading community chat to me while I'm driving, and we've got a shock absorber camera mount here. This should be absolutely.
He will have his own device that he's reading from, obviously.
Oh yeah, he's going to have the iPad. He'll have his iPad. What could possibly go wrong? Everything, and that is what's glorious about it. Ladies and gentlemen, the return of Talking in Cars with DJs Saturday at some point during my 9-hour commute to Hilton Head Island.
Oh my God, you're going to be like soliloquying the entire time because we can't be there.
What is that word? I don't even know what that word means. What is that word?
That's literally your delivery style every episode, where you basically begin speaking and then 3 hours later you take a breath.
No, actually, Tarpy, I've got this.
Yes.
No, I've got this planned out. I got this figured out, Tarpy. Yeah. I'm gonna have another device on my CarPlay, and I'm gonna join.
Oh, good Lord.
I'm gonna join Discord voice, and it's gonna be playing through my car speakers, so the microphone will be able to.
Nothing's gonna go wrong.
No,
absolutely nothing's gonna go wrong.
This is gonna be great. This is going to be great. Yes, I'm bringing a dongle, Wristbreaker. That way, I will be able to plug in. I'll be able to plug in. So I'm going to have Discord over the car speakers, and the microphone that I'm wearing will not only pick up me, but it will pick up our Discord audio as well. I mean, my God, I have got this planned out.
You know, I'm very confident. I think this is going to work out for you. I'm very happy with this.
Griffin, I know I've been planning this for literally like 2.5 weeks, thinking about all the logistics and how it's going to work.
You have thought about it.
I bought special equipment. By the way, this is the same equipment. This is the same equipment. Hang on. Griffin, you're going to recognize this. This is the same equipment that they put on the exterior of cars when they're shooting exterior like vantage points in movies and TV and film. This is the stuff that they put. This is the same arm. This shock absorber arm
makes good stuff. It does.
Yeah,
it's a good company.
I bought good stuff, you guys. All right, absolutely. This is the same stuff they shoot movies with. And
we're all very excited. Put my camera back on so I can do some House Hurrock max pulls before we say goodbye as a bonus feature.
All right, House Hurrock max pulls. Let's take a quick peek at the whale cam. You guys take a look in here as we get ready to wrap up. And the podcast audience, I will try to narrate for you. Griffin is in the Targ Tag Exchange. He is going to do a triple pull. Oh, my God. I can't believe you're going to do that. And he's going to walk away with 200 rare directives, 100 epic directives, and
34
not a lot else, but I'll take it.
Actually, that's a good pull, dude. You had a 10%.
So too.
You had a 10% chance to pull nothing. So
yeah.
So
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Aren't you excited for your 34 epic 4-star gas?
Okay, but that's not the point of the chest. All right, let's take a look at the Hurrock Emblem Exchange. A 3-chest pull there is going to.
That's the epic.
Yeah, the House Hurrock Emblem. Come on, hurry up. We're out of time.
I'm doing it. Here it comes.
We're out of time.
I'm just looking at the odds.
Taking a look, he's going to get with 9 Dechok shards. 9, and that's really the only thing that's valuable there. Maybe some rare shit parts.
No, look at that mirror dust.
Okay, and there's 900 mirror dust in there. There you go. Do you have
Premium.
Do you have another one to pull? Because we're out of time. All right, here we go.
I just got a single here.
Insignia Exchange. He did a signal pull, got 3 DeMarco shards and 300 Galactic Acclaim. That one's a little. It was only a single pull. All right, guys.
Your results may vary.
Yeah, results may vary. Oh, one other thing that I wanted to show real quick. I did want to show this on my game screen.
God.
I just want to go out with the poop space emblem. Okay, I maintain that this is a poop emoji. And with that, we end the show. Thank you guys, everybody, for being here. My name is Ultimate DJs. That crazy guy over there is Griffin. And we've got Jules Verne, Tarpey, Putz, Karkin, everywhere it matters in the stage on the panel. Thank you guys so very much. Invite you to visit our website at TalkingTrekSTFC.com. That's TalkingTrekSTFC.com. We'll see you this coming week for pop-up streams. Be sure to check us out for our IRL Saturday, and then after that, just watch the Discord for announcements. I'll try to keep you posted as we can. I appreciate you guys, everybody. My name is Ultimate DJs, your friendly neighborhood cat person saying meow for now, love you minute. Catch ya on the next episode of Talking Trek, a registered trademark and recorded in front of a live studio audience for distribution across podcast platforms everywhere. On behalf of everybody here at Talking Trek, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast, we bid you farewell for now. Meow for now. Have a great one. We'll catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody. And for those of you in the live video audience, I am going to find somebody very quickly to raid over to. Do we have anybody that we can actually raid to right now? Let's see.
At 1:30 in the morning?
I know, 1:30 in the morning. Cree is playing STFC. Okay, well, let's just pop over there. All right. Yep, Cree is on. I'm going to press the button. I'm going to bounce on out of here. You guys have a wonderful night. I've got some editing to do and about 3 hours of sleep to grab. So that I can actually, because
you won't be sleeping tonight. There's no way. Good luck.
Yeah, well, Saturday is the big long drive. I'm going to sleep a little bit tonight because we're going to do a couple of hours. We're going to do a couple of hours tomorrow and make a pit stop over in Gatlinburg. We're going to go to Pigeon Forge for the day.
Oh, great city. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
enjoy that.
That'll be nice. And then we're going to stay Friday night, and then Saturday will be the big 8-hour drive to Hilton Head. So, all right, you guys have a wonderful night. Huh? What?
DJ, seriously, check South Carolina state law. They are notorious for pulling over, especially out of state license plates, with people on their phone, or if they even have their phone up in their window. Trust me on this.
He's
you
not
don't want to get pulled over.
He's not touching.
Yeah, what are they going to do? I've got a mount and everything. I'm not going to be touching jack.
It may be still illegal. I'm just saying, check it out.
For a phone mount in your car?
Yes. In South Carolina, they're ridiculously stupid.
Well, I guess we'll just have to stream in the early part of the day then. All right, I got to go. Way too long. Good night, everybody. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy your raid. Bye. All right. We're out of Discord and out of everywhere else. Okay. Have a great night. Love you. Bye.